Go 0 to 60 in 6.5 seconds.
Youth Energy Academy. We use it to help underserved kids and get them involved with STEM and science, technology, engineering, and math. So this is one of our Youth Energy Academies. We do it for different areas in our jurisdiction. We're doing it in Ocala right now. We'll be in Bartow and St. Pete and in Winter Garden as well. So what you're seeing here is the electric vehicle demonstration. So we have one of our vehicles, the Chevy Electric Volt. This has been in our system for quite a few years now. It has about 70,000 miles on it, but it still gets about 35 to 40 miles of electricity, miles on a charge. And after that's over, the range extender, the engine kicks in, and you can go another 200 to 300 miles. So just like any other car, our experience that we drive the car, maybe
take this Jeep right here, we're able to hook it to a higher spot. We'd be able to jack that and pick that Jeep up with that hoist. And that's how they pull wire, is with that hoist. They'll hook it to the wire, they'll jack it up. Once again, understanding your limitations. That is the tool that they use to actually hold the wire with. So if you would, go ahead and walk around and let them take a look at that.
And 10 years ago now, for Hurricane Charlie, was any of y'all there for Hurricane Charlie? Remember that one?
Oh my God.
It was pretty rough.
I hated that.
That whole year was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Anyways, we got this set up, and we're going to run through it kind of quick. Yes. There'll be a little fire. As long as everything's working right. The voltage is the same, but the ampacity. In other words, this is like a 1 horsepower power line. What you see down in Bartow and over around Ocala is like 600 horsepower power line. The fires will be much bigger, but it gives you a pretty good idea. But what we want to do is give you an idea what causes the lights to go out. And as you can understand, why it takes time to do this or that. Animals is a big problem with power lines. Anybody got to guess which was the worst animal? Squirrel's very good. It's supposed to be a squirrel. That's a brand new squirrel. We just bought him yesterday. But anyways, squirrels are number one. But in Ocala, we do have one unique one. I mean, coons and possums, they get in there. Snakes, hawks, big hawks. But we did get a monkey over in Silver Springs one time. Climbed up there. He was laying at the bottom of the pole and got there. But are you monitoring? Okay. Let's hope for the best here. We got a little dollhouse. By the way, now my name's Mark, and that's Tyler over there with the squirrel. We got it powered up. How we look, Mike? So far, so good? All right. What they do is they love to get up there and get it, eat, carry on whatever squirrels do. Most of the time eat acorns. And when they're standing on that transformer, it's just like standing on the ground. They'll eventually reach up there and touch something energized. And hold your ears a little bit. Go ahead, Tyler. Eat the squirrel up.
I'm trying to fit right here.
Easy, easy.
God, man,
all right.
I thought I got it.
Y'all heard the big boom. There's yeah, that's the last big noise. There's a reason for that. It's kind of like the same theory they use for putting out oil fires. You've heard them using dynamite to put fires out? It's the same thing here. There's a chemical reaction going on inside that door. Go ahead, Tyler. Dollhouse back on? Not yet. All right, we got the fuse back in. It blows the arc out. When you're working with high voltage, you'll see it later. There's arcs that'll travel through the air. It doesn't need wire to conduct. So that explosion actually blows the arc out, clears the problem. We get out there, find the dead animal on the ground. Now we have gone around and started putting these up, which kind of protects the animals and birds and what have you. But we have found that the squirrels are pretty ingenious, and if they can stick an acorn in here, they will, and they'll fill this thing full of acorns. And then later on, when they go to get them out, they do the same thing. So it's a constant problem and battle, but it is a little bit better. All right, this middle pole here, that's a transformer, this is a transformer, that's a breaker. Have you guys ever been at home at night and your lights go out and they come on, they go out and they come back on? That's a breaker operator. It's designed to do it 3 times. If you count, when they start doing that, on the 3rd time it's not coming back on. If it comes back on the 2nd time and stays on, chances are it'll stay on. But it's designed that maybe a tree falls, hits the line, gets into it, the breaker actually open, kill the power long enough for the problem to clear itself. It'll close back in, power's restored, nobody even has to come out. Tyler's going to short this line out on purpose. If you listen, you'll hear it going through its cycle. It's not real loud. And then the lights on the dollhouse will finally go out. That was 1, 2, 3. All right, little handle dropped out. All right, Tyler, I'm going to kill everything. You can do your thing.
All right, take my phone now.
You're clear. Everything looking good, Mike? All right, next one's coming.
If you can, because you got my charger.
In Ocala, and I think Bartow too, those reclosers are set on a time limit. In other words, they'll open up and you can do about a 3 count. They'll close back in.
I don't like that.
Yes.
He hurt him. That bitch said club your ear.
No more. All loud noises are done. Well, we might could do one more after we're done.
Hey, do it again.
All right. Anyways, the breaker opens and closes in about 3 seconds. I watched a program on the Discovery Channel one night where a hot air balloon got into a power line out west. Their delay on their breakers was 30 seconds. Well, this balloon got into the line and it operated the recloser or the breaker. It opened up. They hung there for 30 seconds. They thought they were fine. The power came back on and it cut all the ropes on the hot air balloon. They hit the ground. Nobody was seriously hurt. But 30 seconds, that same line could have been laying on the ground. You'd have thought it was dead. 30 seconds later, it comes back hot. The story is, down lines, stay clear. Get away from them. They're liable to come back hot at any time. A tree could fall and make it come back hot. You never know. How you doing there, Tyler?
He's saying that they
That's
think
what
that.
caused it.
All right.
Cause what? I wouldn't-
Oh, get me, grab one of your palmettos right there.
They were stuck in the power line.
Y'all from down there in Bartow, so I know you know what palmettos are. They are not very conductive. I mean, you don't do it, but you could take one and stick it in a light socket and you'd never feel it. But as the voltage gets higher, anything can just about become conductive, as you'll see, even air. So what we're going to do, that breaker's open right now. We're going to heat it up. And Tyler's going to take this palmetto and go across the top, try to make the lights in the house come on through that palmetto, which is not a very conductive material. All right, let me get you back on. Keep an eye on it, Mike. This one,
I'm sitting on this.
I think. Hang on. Looking all right? Okay. If you'll listen real close, you might hear it buzzing. All right, as you can see, the lights are coming on. And he can leave it there, and it will work. But it's getting hot right now, and it would get hotter and hotter and hotter. It would finally catch on fire because it's not a very good conductor. But it gives you an idea. Ocala and Bartow, we work on a 12 kV system, which is, each line has roughly almost 8,000 volts, according to the substation at any time. So the voltage is pretty high. All right. So we've got our problems been fixed. We're going to come back to our breaker. I don't know if some of y'all can see that little yellow handle that dropped down. That indicates the breaker's open. So we got the problem fixed. Tyler's going to try to heat it up. And the lights are on. Very good. So if you happen to see us out there working and you see the yellow handle down, you say, well, there's the problem. You got to go down the line first, correct the problem, then come back.
So look at it.
All right, yep, let me turn you off. All right. What we're going to do is purposely fail an insulator at this time, which is what keeps the power line off the pole. The pole's like standing on the ground, like anything else. Wood's better. It's got a little insulating properties to it, but concrete and steel, they're just like a conductor. He has purposely failed it, and this happens sometimes lightning to hit them and fail the insulator. Just keep your eye on the middle fold there.
Do it again. Oh.
Wait, I missed it.
Looking all right, Mike? I'm just trying to see what we're building up here.
There you go.
That gives you a pretty good idea of what's going on when that insulator fails. Like I said, this is a low ampacity power line. The voltage is high, but not much horsepower. If we were out here on the road doing that, the fire would consume this trailer. The same thing. Yes, good point. When it flashes, it's fast. And you just can't avoid it. All right, number one reason for power outages, at least with us, is trees. Tyler's going to stick one up there. You're hot, lights are on. Especially at night, a rainy night, the trees get to hanging low. Ocala's real proud of his trees. They don't like us to cut them. Bartow was the same way till Charlie come through there and knocked most of them down. I imagine it's growed up by now.
You did? Yeah. All the trees with it.
You can see what's happening. Still all right, Mike? Move your ground back a little. All right, try it right there. Yeah, it's coming down. But as you see, it'll sit there and burn and burn and burn, and it just continues to build. And after a while, even the air gets so hot that it will conduct. And we call it fault current. Fault current is tremendous. It gets up into thousands of amps, and it happens fast. And that's where you get your fire from. But that gives you a pretty good idea. No, they don't.
That smells so good.
Is it really?
How does that smell so good? It's the smell of burning stuff.
There it comes.
It doesn't smell bad.
It's like burning oak.
That ain't too bad.
I'm about to do that.
Well, that's a pretty good one right there for you guys. We're going to stop while we're ahead. Another lesson to be learned there. Don't climb a tree near a power line. Same thing can happen. All right. Real quick, the last one, we're going to try to cook a hot dog. Hot dog, we like to use it because it represents us. It's made out of bone and meat and muscle. Just let it sit. All right, go ahead, Tyler. Yeah, let it sit just like that. It'll take it a while to start cooking. Let it burn for a second. Let it start smoking. Right now, the hot dog's energized at about 7,000 volts. Give me a little gap. Let's make sure it's doing its thing. Just a small one. Yeah, okay. It's going. We're using a palmetto again to hold the hot dog up, so it's cooking as well, as you'll see in a minute. Good, yeah. Right. There you go.
I love you. Age of money for the world.
Wow.
We hope to get, if it's not, we have energy sites as well with Lockheed Martin, dealing with power, energy, and things like that. And hope to get your minds geared, hopefully, towards wanting to pursue a career in engineering. Because if anything, of course, you have to do the in-between stuff to get the degree and things like that. But it pays well. Okay? I know everybody wants to get paid well, right? All right. Sometimes. Okay. All right.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Warren. So, all right, so I'm Alan. I'm a quality engineer at Lockheed Martin. I've been there for about 14 months now, so close to, getting close to a year and a half. And today, the breakout session is called software implementation. All right, so it sounds real far-fetched, right? It sounds real technical, right? But I'm gonna break it down a little. Thank you. And I'll break it down for you, and then we'll see if we can...
trust the person that's leading you, right? You trust your teachers. No. Not all of them. Yeah. You have favorite teachers? Yes. What makes them favorites?
My face is going to be...
The personality, right? What about the personality?
It's all right here.
Someone you can talk to.
They see you can talk to them, but to talk to someone, what do you need? Trust, right? You have to trust them, right? You have to feel that they believe in you, they care about you, really have your well-being in mind. Well, that's part of being a leader. So, do you think you could exemplify some of those traits as being leaders? So, tell everybody here, you don't have to get too secret. Tell something about yourself that maybe nobody knows.
probably runs from $60 to $80. It depends on what type of shirt you pick out to wear. It's got a cow rating. That has a cow rating on it. And underneath it, we have to make sure we have on a cotton shirt. Go ahead.
Y'all pay for that?
No, the company buys all this for you. Oh. But with the cow rating is, in the event that we should sustain or arc or flash or get burned, this will, once we move away from the ignition source, it'll go out. It won't contribute to keep burning, to hurt one another. Huh? No air won't get in to sustain the burn. Now, safety glasses, these right here, they are Z87. They're puncture resistant. You have to take some pencil and come in.
Internship, which means every summer I had a guaranteed job. And I got to work in different departments. New construction, helping determine where the power goes. I got to work in marketing. I got to work in customer service. I got to work in human resources. All dealing with aspects of engineering that became important later in life. Technical writing was something I learned while being in the marketing department. That's something that I'm still using today in engineering. And so there are a lot of opportunities for you to at least get a taste and touch of engineering to see if it's something you want to do. You may not want to do it. It's not for everyone. I can remember being in college having people that were starting out with me in engineering, and when it was done, they ended up going into teaching. Nothing wrong with that, but engineering can be tough. I struggled. I repeated the class twice, but I stayed with it. And now it's one of the best decisions that I ever made. When I got laid off 5 years ago, I knew I still wanted to work in the utility industry. If you look at the bottom, it gives you an idea of some of the salary ranges. Now, engineering is wide open. So even though it says 58 to 77,000, there are engineers who are making way more than that. I'm above the mean or median salary range. I love what I do. I love the pay that comes with it.
So you're above median, but you're lower than high?
All I said is I'm above median.
Talked about Energy 101. We're going to do a recap about that. We're going to talk about the substation. Just a big overview of what a substation is. Transformers and circuit breakers. We talked a little bit about this earlier. It'll get a little more interesting. All right, so I'm going to show you a little. Let me back up. Little. All right. All right, so this is a little diagram of the whole thing that he showed you earlier, right? You see a little bucket truck going down there, basically just showing you a whole layout of how the power industry works. So over here to the left, we have the power plant, right? That's where the power is generated. The girl, she was winding the power plant, remember that? That's where the power is created, right? Very simple. And from there, once we create the power, we get it going, then we have to transport over some transmission lines. Remember that part right here, right? Those are those lines that Derek said it can be real small because you step it over each other. And then from there, we're going to go over to a substation. I'm going to talk a little bit about this substation over here. That's where we take it and step the power back down again. And then we send it on the lines. And I know you guys know about the lines because y'all just saw that out here right just a few minutes ago. So, and the power poles, what happens when a tree falls across the line? Right? That's it. That was it. Then what happens? Did anybody hear a boom, right? Who was surprised with the boom? You didn't think it was...
Good afternoon. My name is Joe Peterzak, and as Michael said, I head up the solar energy programs down here in Florida and also in our North Carolina area. In Florida, we have 5 different programs that customers can participate in. We have a solar energy program that offers customers incentives if they want to install solar energy on their home or on their business. We have incentives for that. We also have incentives for customers that want to install solar water heating on their home. They can use the sun to heat some of that water instead of using electricity or gas. And we also we work with Habitat for Homes We have affordable solar energy where we actually install free solar water heaters on those homes that are being built. And then last but not least, we have the SunSense Schools program. And you guys can all, if you would, as you're coming through, if you would grab a copy of each one of these. This one highlights the schools that we've completed here in Florida. And to date, I've put solar on about 53 different schools throughout our service area, including UF, UCF, USF, St. Pete College. We just finished a system down at USF where we combined it together with some energy storage technology. So we're working with Tesla to learn how to develop batteries and rates to take that sun's energy and store it. So when the sun goes down, you guys are still able to get that power.
All right, thanks, Joe. So, I'm not going to prolong my speech so we can get involved and have some fun. So let's go ahead and get prepared here, Joe, and I think we're going to be heading outside. But before we get there, let me ask you, how many of you know what STEM is? All right. She's jumping over like, hey, look at me, look at me.
That's how you grade it.
All right. All right, what is STEM?
Science, technology, engineering, and math.
Awesome. So how many of you are planning on majoring in the STEM field? Nobody. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We also add another letter in the STEM, and that's an A. We call it STEAM. A is for accounting. Okay, so when we look at all of this, we have a need in our industry for anything that you can think of under the sun. So let me ask you, what field you're thinking of? Artists? Visual arts? Okay. We got a corporate comm department. Does all of our printing. Does all preparation and all this material in here. As we go through corporate comm, that's artwork that we have to have designed and approved. What about you? Let's look at measurement.
That's why I was saying, why have we rotated? But it's not your fault.
Computers, we got IT. Okay. What about you? Architecture, engineering field, you got a need for engineers. You heard us talking about engineering all the time, so you missed it. You should have said STEM. You should have been the first to raise your hand. All right? And what about you? What are you planning on majoring in? Mechanical engineering, we got a need for it. So you look at our industry, everything that you can think about around this, any degree, any field you think about, we as a utility company have a need for it. But we want to make sure that this is what this day today is about. You're going to hear about the different disciplines as we walk around and hear from others. But I'm not going to prolong it, so I'm going to point this back over to Mr. Peterzak and Joe.
All right. So we're going to go outside and we're going to do some solar experiments. And the first thing you guys are going to need is a pair of sunglasses. So on your way out, we'd like you to grab a pair of sunglasses. And we'd also like any questions?
So, are you thinking about
any other position? You want it due south. You also have to look at shading. So just as in your example, if you stepped underneath the shade, what happened? Nothing. Out in the sunlight, it's producing energy. So if you have trees over your home or you have a lot of clouds, then that energy production will go down. It will still work a little bit with clouds, but definitely tree shading will turn it off like that.